boy's got to go. Is he good boy? Good boy. Good boy.
In the current market, the estate agents recommend that Suzanne lets the property, but for how much?
The rental market is very buoyant at the moment, and there's a high demand for rental properties like this, mainly from young professionals. When the property is finished to a reasonable standard, I expect to achieve a rental yield of somewhere in the region of £400 per month.
I'll put this property on market for 550,000 per calendar month.
I would have thought about 495, 500 months.
With her total investment of £65,000, Suzanne could see an impressive rental yield here of somewhere between about 8 and 10%. But with her heart set on selling, so she can release equity to start her next project, what prices would these estate agents suggest?
The resale market in this area is still fairly static, so I would recommend pitching this whole property for a number of years. However, if she wants to sell the property, it would be somewhere in the region of £75,000 to £80,000.
I'll put this property on market for £85,000.
I would have thought more than that, to be honest. I think those estimates are a bit low.
Going on what those two estate agents say, Suzanne will make a healthy profit still of £10,000 to £20,000 minus the usual expenses. But as she's a little disappointed with those figures, could she be tempted to go down the rental route after all?
No, I don't think I can say about it. I prefer just a site. I think I don't want to have to take it. It's too nice.
Hopefully Suzanne will be lucky and get the price she wants for her new star performer. This is the busy village of Kenfig Hill in Mid Glamorgan, situated just 5 miles from the M4 motorway. And like many places, its high street retailers are having a tough time.
Well, I'm right in the heart of Kenfig Hill shopping centre, so it's no surprises that the property I'm here to see is actually in commercial premises. It's this, most recently used as insurance brokers, a guide price of £31,000. Let's take a look.
It certainly looks as if it has a lot of potential. However, any buyer would have to take into consideration the planning regulations, which might mean the shop front is here to stay.
It's certainly got a nice big frontage, which is what you want if you were to be selling things. But actually, the usage of this place is A2. That means professional financial services, so something like solicitors or estate agents. Absolutely ideal for that. As I said, it was originally an insurance broker. Inside here, well, a little bit shabby. You have some fun ripping off the walls. Might even be bigger space than it looks. But one main room here. Let's have a look together. Right. Then through to the rear, where you've got the simple ante room and a continuum. So already I'm seeing quite a substantial property here.
As well as the shop front and the ante-room, there's a rear kitchen and cloakroom on the ground floor. There's also access out the back. And there's more.
So, upstairs and what have we got? Well, 3 very decent sized rooms, and it seems like they haven't really been utilised for anything specific. Maybe office space, storage, whatever. And what we do notice is in there, a little rooms coming here, some signs of damp. My guess is that's coming down from the roof, so definitely get the roof checked out. But while I'm up here, suddenly I'm thinking, is there another option for this building? Could you perhaps convert this into a self-contained flat? Now that is an interesting opportunity.
Opportunity indeed, because although a planning application was turned down to convert the whole building to a residential dwelling, it doesn't rule out the possibility of a mixed commercial residential option. I think there may be a chance that that route could succeed, particularly when you see what's out the back.
So if you were thinking about doing something with that upstairs area, what would you want to do? Well, first of all, you want to create separate access, because at the moment it's actually through the shop. The good news is, right on the side of the property there is this little alleyway, and it gets better because at the rear of the shop there is this fairly large bit of land, and at the bottom a separate access road, so you could bring
the standard finish, he's put a door in between the garden and the garden, which obviously will make the garden a lot more attractive and usable.
Really impressed. Very high quality of finish, fixture and fittings. Particularly impressed with the ensuite shower.
When we last met, Colin was characteristically undecided on whether to let or sell the property. If he opted to sell, what sale price do the estate agents estimate?
I would put this property on the market for £160,000.
The marketing the property in the region of £160,000.
160 both. Bit surprised at that, bit lower than I would have hoped. I had an agent in a little while before we finished, and he said about 170, so I think they're both a bit low, but who knows, until you sell it, it isn't a done deal.
If the property were to sell for £160,000, the estate agents recommended, and bearing in mind Colin's total outlay of £151,500, he could make a pre-tax profit of £8,500. But has he decided yet whether to let or sell? Let's hear the rental returns.
We could put the property on the market for £750 per calendar month.
On the rental market, you could achieve somewhere in the region of £750 per calendar month.
750, I would say they're about low enough. I'm not interested in renting it, so it'll be summer anyway, so even at 160 or something.
Colin has decided that selling suits him better, as it will make enough profit to forge ahead with his next project, or projects.
I shall absolutely be doing it again. We'll be looking straight away, and we'll definitely try to do another one this year at least.
Earlier we were in Kenfig Hill in Bridgend, Glamorgan, where business owner Jay purchased this commercial property at auction for £40,500. His plan was to renovate and refurbish it to house his business communications company, but it did sound as though he won't be hands-on.
So is this your first venture into property?
It is, yes. I'm not much of a DIY myself. More sort of technical. So we did a build as we do. I would see it, but I do the right, just give us that, and then we'll get this first.
As Jay was relying on financial grants from the council to start the work, his overall timescale was 4 to 5 months. We've come back just over 6 months after we first met him to see if he's turned this place around. Well, he may have been hands-off, but Jay's building team have done him proud. This commercial property has been transformed. The front shop area and anteroom have been opened out to create a pleasant ground floor, whilst upstairs has been converted into 3 offices. Throughout there are new carpets, walls have been replastered, and there's a new kitchenette and WC. Out back has been tarmacked, making car park space for 5 cars. This place now seems ideal for Jay to run his business from, and if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right.
When we first bought the property, we had a rotten shop front and a door, so we changed the whole shop front. It's now an aluminium double glazed unit, which prevents any road noise coming in as well. Downstairs is our sales floor, so we put an open area for it, just so they can work together and help each other through the day. We put these divides in, as you can see here. These are purely just to sort of prevent any noise, when they're on the phone, etc. I really love it. I think that the style really suits us. Our sales guys are really pleased with it. I'm finding it really, really good how it's separate area as well.
As the local council want to encourage business in the area, Jay was able to get grants from them to help with the refurbishment.
Spent about £42,000 on the refurbishment work. The council's given us about £21,000 back. So we really haven't spent a huge amount of our own money on the project.
And speaking of Jay's wife, Heather, had hoped she could also run her web development business from here, but I don't see much sign of that.
Unfortunately, we needed the space for our own use, but she understands the business needs to come first.
When I first visited the property, I saw some real potential to convert upstairs into a valuations and Jay's £82,500 spent, the rental yield would be between 7 and 11.5%. Healthy, but for the time being, Jay's more than happy to stay put and build his business here.
It's exactly what we need. We built it to our specification, not to sell on or to rent out in the future. So it's not going to fit every business needs in the future. However, for us it's perfect, and we love walking up to it every morning, and so does the team.
We hope you've enjoyed watching Homes Under the Hammer.
Join us next time when we'll have more fascinating stories from the auction rooms for you.
See you then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Emergency services operating in the extremes. Countryside 999 is next on BBC One. In 45 minutes, we're fighting the good fight for consumers. Don't get done, get on. Then we're at Europe's largest antiques fair in Newark for another bargain hunt at 12:15. Every summer, Edinburgh comes alive with performers. So whether you love music or theatre, books or comedy, be part of the UK's biggest arts festival. The Edinburgh Festivals 2013 on radio, on TV and online throughout August on the BBC.
If you could find any talented pupils in this school, I'd be very surprised.
No, but he's good.
So we thinking, where should come up with this idea from? Is it the teachers doing the acts?
Didn't know you did comedy.
Oh yeah, not Jimmy Carr, but more quick-witted.
You don't have to be mad to work it.
That's what I always say.
That's just my catchphrase.
Big School continues tonight at 9 on BBC One and BBC One HD. To unlock up to £100,000, you need knowledge, learn, and ultimately, perfect timing.
Join me and Knowles to find out if they really can. Wait a second.
The National Lottery breaks safe, including the National Lottery draws, Saturday on BBC One and BBC One HD. When your energy bill unexpectedly goes through the roof, don't get done, get Dom in 45 minutes. First on BBC One, The Countryside, built as you know it.
Rural Britain has some of the most challenging environments in the world. In Scotland, the mountains, lochs and coastline encourage tourists and locals to get out into the wilds. But with that comes danger. The emergency services north of the border have to deal with extreme challenges every day. From severe weather and treacherous terrain
Is it me getting worse today? Yes.
to covering huge distances on country roads with time against them. They work around the clock, battling against some of the most difficult situations. We'll be right at the heart of the action. Side by side with air rescue saving lives. On the road with paramedics caring for the injured. And following the police fighting crime. As the emergency services work together to pick up, patch up and protect the public in rural communities. This is Countryside 999. Coming up, be to the market town of Dumfries on one of the busiest nights of the festive season with local PC Kerry Smith and emergency consultants in a rural hospital deal with pre-Christmas casualties.
Come on. Here, listen. You're in. Oi. You're in hospital.
The wide open spaces of Britain's rural areas mean that the emergency services have greater distances to cover than their counterparts in the cities. Dumfries and Galloway has the smallest mainline police force in the UK, with just 515 officers. That's one officer to every 5 square miles. But along with the countryside, there must also police the region's town centre. Dumfries is the main town for the region, a small market town, popular with tourists on the Burns Trail. In the Christmas season, a visible police presence is needed more than ever. No one understands that more than local PC Kerry Smith.
So tonight, between really 1700 hours and 200 this morning, it's probably the busiest time of the year for us with custodies and social behaviour. So there's extra staff on site and things being quite busy.
Born and bred in Dumfries, this is Kerry's home turf. Tonight, she and Sergeant Carol Ann Campbell are on the beat in the streets of the town. The police here are very much part of the local community. And with fewer police officers on the ground than in cities, there is more of a community policing approach. Kerry and Carol Ann visit the local pubs to test the mood and check with doormen that they are well prepared for the night ahead.
As a move, you out and
There's 6 of us on the night.
So what time is 9 o'clock? Time midnight, windows to set, with 16, so hopefully that'll remain as nice as well.
Police presence is high tonight. The officers hope balancing that with a friendly and tolerant approach will keep the atmosphere festive.
It's nice and friendly just now, but you'll see the manners change and behaviours change later on. I mean, all our time, yeah. Makes no sense to change. We're females, we didn't more used to girls, we didn't do that. I think sometimes we get a bit tighter than the male officers do, especially when being a young cop as well. I find that sometimes tends to be lack a bit more of it, but later on when they're drunk, it doesn't matter who's sitting in front of them. It always is uniform and they'll play up to that as well.
Dumfries might be a small market town, but it starts to look like any city centre when the alcohol starts to flow. For emergency services across Britain, the last Friday before Christmas is often the busiest, liveliest and messiest night of the year. Round here, it's known as Black Eye Friday. As Kerry knows all too well, she's got to be in for a busy shift.
Elderly gentleman attacked by 2 males.
The festive season brings with it winter conditions. Across rural Britain, snow, ice and rain bring havoc to scattered communities and make driving conditions on country roads much more treacherous. HMS Garnet in Ayrshire is home to one of the country's busiest search and rescue units. In winter, Royal Navy crews play a crucial role, reaching and treating people in hostile environments. Joining the crew's training exercise today is Dr. Neil Hughes, an from the Emergency Medical Retrieval Service, or EMRS. A team made up of A&E specialists. They can treat life-threatening injuries at the site of accidents before the injured are transported to hospital. But during the exercise, a real emergency call comes in.
Rescue 177 outside one. And if you can update on casualties, that would be great. But we do have an EMRS, but the aircraft medical.
There's been a head-on car crash on the A82 near Chingford.
Making about 45 miles difference straight line. Rescue 177 just on with this time and request you work on the lateral possibility of fuel.
They're low on fuel, but decide they need to get Dr. Neil Hughes on site as quickly as possible.
Rescue 177 is a visual tip of this time. We've got approximately 3 legs to run until we're on scene.
The 10-ton helicopter burns aviation fuel at around 10 litres a minute, so they'll need to keep a constant eye on fuel. With the extreme weather and empty roads, helicopter is the fastest option for getting a medical team direct to the casualty's remote location.
Once we discovered where the incident was, we discovered it was the 82 road, and that's quite an extremely rural road. We could see that there was a lot of bad weather there, and we assumed that the road would be grassy. And if you can imagine, for any form of emergency service to get there, that would be quite a huge.
The 147-mile-long A82 runs from Glasgow to Inverness. It's one of the main arteries to the north of Scotland. It's one of Scotland's most dangerous roads. As they approach, the scale of the accident becomes clear.
Rescue 177, fancy the
With so many emergency staff and members of the public on site, finding a safe spot to land is a delicate operation. Police, fire and ambulance are on site already, but the swift arrival of emergency consultant Dr. Neil could make a huge difference to the outcome of any critically injured casualties. Elsewhere, the winter months bring a very different set of challenges for the emergency service. On the last Friday before Christmas, people from rural areas all over Dumfries and Galloway pour into the market town of Dumfries. It's known as Black Eye Friday, and it's traditionally a busy night for the police.
Tonight is when all the fight will happen in Kent's Black Eye Friday.
Sergeant Caroline Campbell and PC Kerry Smith are an hour into their shift, but already the mood is beginning to change. It seems the man has been pushed around by a gang of youths while he was standing outside the cafe.
He came out to get
is a typical rural town, home to 31,000 people.
It makes a change to get other things showing us.
On certain nights of the year, the population of Dumfries swells. Its pubs and nightclubs draw partygoers from the surrounding towns, farms and villages, all converging in the town centre. It seems like a busload of them have just arrived, and not that quiet.
Costco on the radio about a bus come into town with 5 youths on board to cross a bit of service, etc. As they're on foot, we'll just head down as well just to give a bit of a see what's happening.
Big fight with them off it rather rowdy, barely out to beat it on the way to Dumfries, spewed all over the bus. They were just trying to be vulgar, loud, obnoxious, which is why I phoned the assistant to the police to clear it and also to get the fine money for cleaning the bus after it.
What I found is, okay, get your details of this time back in. Yeah? Here?
Kerry doles out a fitting punishment. On top of the £30 fine from the bus company, the youth is faced with cleaning up his own sick in the morning. His night of partying is over.
See you later on. Okay, Lord. We'll get to the
As Black Eye Friday progresses, the police change their approach.
And then you've got to get to a point where you don't take much slack.
A call comes in to attend a suspected knife attack outside a nearby pub. Later, the mood in the streets of Dumfries turns ugly on Black Eye Friday. The Navy aircrew land at the scene of the accident on a remote Highland road.
I was looking at the map, and just as I glanced up from the map, the next second,
But first, staff at a rural A&E department deal with some festive fallout.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
While Black Eye Friday keeps the police busy in Dumfries town centre, the town's hospital staff are also well aware of the caseload this night traditionally brings. The A&E department treats around 100 patients every day. In the run-up to Christmas, the results of festive spirits often end up here, for the staff to pick to pieces. Dr. Pete Armstrong has 13 years' experience on the job, and is now a consultant in emergency medicine.
Today's Black Eye Friday, 21st of December. It's traditionally hopefully one of the busiest days of the year. Hopefully it's Black Eye Friday because everybody has, it's the start of the festivities, so lots of people want to work nights out.
It's not long before Pete has to deal with the casualty in the town centre's rebel.
Yeah, we're just going to go and see that sounds like he's too much drinking, he's really fighting.
In Scotland, 70% of A&E admissions after assaults are alcohol related. Most involve people under 30.
Go on, wait, Keith. Come on, sit down, why are you? You're in hospital. Why are you here? We'll have a clue. Okay. How about is there too much to drink and you can fight? Is that a good starting point? You sore anywhere? Come on, up to bed. Come on, up to bed. Come on. Come on, up to bed. Right. Come on, I see you. Open up your eyes.
Pete must make sure his patient's not suffering more than just superficial injuries. But in this state, it's tricky to get him to see sense.
Okay, let's see this right here. Okay, let's see this one. Come on. Here, listen. You're in hospital. Just behave yourself. Just behave yourself. You're in hospital. I'm trying to help you, okay? So let me take a look at your elbow. Let me take a look at your elbow. Right, let's see this elbow of yours. Nothing, just a wee bruise over.
Apart from a few bumps and bruises, it's okay.
Alright, it's all fashionable. Don't even think about it in the cubicle.
But before the doctor even has a chance to give him the disposable bottle,
Come on,
he's passed out.
come on, come on. Here you go. Here you pee. Sit in the trolley and use that, okay? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Each year, over 10% of NHS staff are assaulted. It's one reason why this hospital has dedicated police officers on site to help them deal with drunk or aggressive patients.
I just think that function doesn't look pretty right at the start. That being difficult, people starting to sort of get to start functioning, things spitting at things, you know, slipping to feel like the road.
Beats called for police assistance, but it looks like this young man is going to do more harm to himself than anyone else tonight.
Come on, come on, come on. Why are you lying on the floor? Come on. I suggest you sit. No, that's fine. Right, that's okay. Right, come on. Sit on the edge of the trolley. There you go. And if you want to have a pee, there you go. Okay? Okay, I'll go get another one.
While Pete gets another disposable bottle, the police arrive to keep his patient in line.
There you go. There you go. You punch the last one, okay, and spat on the floor.
Right, you've got a job to do here.
In this state, a trip to the toilet, assisted by a nurse and a police officer, is the best treatment.
It has multiple superficial wounds and abrasions, but nothing that's giving you any other big cause for concern at the moment. So I think what he needs is a bit of time to actually sober up.
Pete's patient is clearly relieved, so he's left to sleep it off before the police take him home. The Royal Navy's search and rescue team are attending a serious road traffic collision just outside Tyndrum in the Scottish Highlands, between Glasgow and Fort William. On board they have Dr. Neil Hughes from the Emergency Medical Retrieval Service. Their own witchman, Dave Rigg, is a trained paramedic.
Yeah, we're up at the training station and we've got one of the local retrieval doctors, Neil, with us. As soon as we got the call, he was ready in with us.
It's icy, and two cars have had a head-on collision on a notoriously dangerous road. The fire service incident commander is in control of the situation. His team have been working to free the casualties, but now need guidance from the medics.
Right guys, we need some news. Tell us whether you want us to open it. Open it here, green access, these green posts. Right. If you let us know, we'll open it further for you to execute. We've left him quite tight just now.
Super again, what
Okay.
There are 3 casualties. One of them is in a critical condition. A&E consultant Dr. Neil Hughes has arrived just 21 minutes after the collision to give specialist care at the scene of the accident.
Unfortunately, it's been quite a nasty one, especially one severely injured casualty, and we've got 2 other minor injured casualties who are in a sort of stable condition. But it's a bit isolated place and a nasty crash, unfortunately.
They must get this driver to hospital as soon as possible. By road, the journey could take hours if nearby traffic now. A Helimed air ambulance with more specialist equipment is on its way from Glasgow.
I think the candidate was still coming, isn't it?
as far as I know.
Green access, comes to us, I think. So it's conscious now, we'll take you down, so just get out ASAP.
The Helimed's arrival is vital.
Is there any chance of getting all these vehicles behind the fire engine?
Winchman Dave helps clear a landing space for the helipad, whilst Neil assesses the driver's condition.
Please start moving the vehicles back, so as soon as we get a chance, we can please go and open make that. Yeah. Just got some morphine here. Just the doctor, you've seen that obviously the patient needs some major anaesthesia. And as soon as he's got a line in, then I'll give the pain relief and hopefully we'll be able to get extracted.
The helipad arrives. The driver is removed from the car. With the helipad now on site, the Sea King crew take the decision to go to Killin, 25 miles away, to refuel.
We were coming to a critical point where we had enough fuel to wait for another 10 minutes, pick up the casualty, and then take them direct to Glasgow Southern General, and then onward to Glasgow Airport for us to get fuel to enable us to get home. Or if we were going to be any longer with a casualty, we had to make a decision then to go get fuel in the meantime while the casualties were getting prepared for flight. Can you open your eyes for me?
The critically injured patient is assessed and handed over to the specialist team on board the helipad.
Once we removed the casualty from his car, the doctor decided at that point we would be required to put him in his own sleep. Therefore, when the air ambulance arrived, we knew the doctor team were ready to do that. Fortunately, with us being there early, we could get most of that saved them a lot of time.
But there are still 2 casualties to attend to.
Our boy's going to come back. We'll bring our aircraft in here, extricate the person in that car, get in there, straight to hospital.
In the market town of Dumfries, Black Eye Friday, one of the busiest nights of the year for the emergency services, is well underway. Sergeant Carol Ann Campbell and PC Kerry Smith are on duty till 2 AM, keeping an eye on the Christmas revelers. With the alcohol flowing freely, the atmosphere changes. And then reports come in of a knife attack outside the pub. Police officers are already at the scene and requesting backup. Carol Ann and Kerry must race across town on foot. By the time they arrive, the situation has been diffused.
Basically what happened was there was an allegation that young boy had a knife on him. Officer had gone down and detained him for search. I think he put up a bit of a fight. We pretended he'd been off cam on arrival. Been searched with negative results and he's been released to go home. And there's been one of the other complaints about a knife or anything else being mentioned.
It was quite hard to control initially with the numbers involved until others colleagues were able to give us a week hand with everything. We were expecting a bit more bother later on tonight as the alcohol flows. Haven't seen any black eyes yet, but I'm sure there'll be some later on.
It's getting towards the end of the night, and Kerry and Carol Ann take a final turn around town. But with the streets still packed, Black Eye Friday isn't over yet. There's an assault up ahead. Carol Ann and Kerry apprehend a youth running away from the scene.
Yeah, wait a minute. I'm bleeding through the nose because I haven't. How did you not throw a punch from the gun now? You jumped in the other.
2 of the group are charged with breach of the peace and taken into custody. And at last, it's the end of a long night protecting the community Kerry grew up with.
It's 2:05 and it is end shift for us. Black Eye Friday has touched
outside Dumfries town centre. The Christmas season brings an unusual range of injuries through the doors of A&E. Consultant Dr. Mike Quigley has just started his shift. He checks the system to see what may be in store for him.
Okay, let's just rechecking on the daily numbers so far. Sometimes in the run up to Christmas during the day we find the pace might drop a little bit. The evening times we tend to get a little bit busier then because people are out enjoying themselves.
A red category, or critically injured patients, has come in. Morris has fallen off a ladder, putting Christmas decoration boxes away in the attic. He's badly hurt and is struggling to breathe. He's taken straight to the emergency room.
How's your neck? Still sore. How's your breathing feel? Okay. Where's the sorest bit for you? Down that side? Okay. And did you land in that bit? On the ground, or did you hit the ladder on the way down? Don't worry. Were you putting up a Christmas tree? Did I pick that up right?
No.
No.
I was spitting boxes off of it.
The attic. Right. I'm going to listen into your breathing for a wee second. You're doing good.
In 2011, more than 6,000 people were admitted to A&E in England and Wales after falling off a ladder. 49 of them died. Morris may have broken bones or even damaged or ruptured organs. Mike must assess his injuries immediately.
Sore bit. So just even touching your chest gently there, it's really sore. Yeah, okay, I'll not press too hard. I'm going to look at these other bits. How does your tummy feel? Does it feel sore from today? Yeah, okay. What about the side? That's sore too. What about your head? Did you bash your head? All right. Where have you come from?
Just on the side of the face.
All right. I think you got an ambulance to bring in, yes.
No.
Did you not? You did? Did you drive up? No. Your wife drove up? Thank goodness. Okay.
Morris travelled the 4 miles to get to hospital by car rather than call an ambulance. If he got stuck in traffic, it could have had serious consequences.
This gentleman has been up in his attic. He's fallen from his ladder, landed up to his right hand side. It's a lot of pain. It looks as if it's coming from his chest. His tummy's quite sore, so we need to look at that in a little bit more detail. He's not able to take big breaths because of the soreness. We need to make sure there's no internal damage done. He may have broken ribs. And then just next to his thorax is his tummy, so he may have internal abdominal issues as well. So we'll look at the chest first, an x-ray of his pelvis, and then we'll see what's happening with his abdomen. The first thing is to get him more comfortable.
Morris is given morphine to ease the acute pain. Then he'll be given an ultrasound scan, which can detect internal bleeding.
I'm going to put a little ultrasound machine in your tummy, so for you it's a bit of cool gel, okay? Is that quite sore where I'm pressing? Okay. Alright. Thank you. We'll give you more stuff for your pain, Morris, in a wee while as well to keep you a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, but that looks okay to me at the minute.
There are no signs of a bleed, but Morris is still kept under close surveillance. The x-rays of Morris's pelvis and spine are clear, but Mike has spotted something in his chest x-ray which is a cause for concern.
That looks like a broken rib there. Yeah, So we're looking like a couple of broken ribs at least.
Having found 2 broken ribs, Mike is concerned there may be other injuries to internal organs.
I think you've broken a couple of ribs. The other x-rays look okay, but I need you to do a few more tests for us just to get to make sure you've not damaged yourself anywhere else.
Prognosis at this stage is he's going to be sore for a number of weeks, particularly sore for the next 48 hours. So we need to keep a close eye on him. We need to re-examine him again. He needs to meet the hospital. He needs to be seen by a surgical specialist. The important thing is what's underneath the ribs and the lungs and how the injury's going to affect his breathing.
Morris's effort to tidy away the Christmas decoration boxes has resulted in some nasty injuries. He'll be kept in overnight for close monitoring. But he's not the only patient to come into A&E from a seasonally related accident. After a heavy fall, Agnes has a nasty fracture. A head-on collision between two cars on an isolated rural road in the Scottish Highlands has left 3 people injured, 1 critically. Emergency services are working in unison to get the injured to hospital. It's a stroke of luck that emergency consultant Dr. Neil Hughes was on board the Royal Navy helicopter when they got the call out.
I work with the EMRS, which is our retrieval service here, and I was with HMS Gannet doing exercises in the hills, some winching practice and some mountain manoeuvres when we were tasked here to this road traffic collision. So we've landed and been first on the scene and been able to assess the casualties and help them really best we could. For our colleagues from the service in Glasgow arrived to help them out as well.
The seriously injured man is now on his way to hospital by air ambulance. So Neil and Navy paramedic Dave Rigg now focus on the other casualties.
The other gentleman who's trapped but not too badly, so we'll just keep her in there while I fix his out of the bad weather. The other guy, I think, before we have to mostly see how the extra game, but we will extra care the other chap. I'll tell you the other casualty as well. Bring our aircraft back in, because we have to hospital.
The passenger, Joe, has managed to get out of the other car. Robin, the driver, has moved into the passenger seat to be treated by the medics.
We were driving up from Tinder, and I remember I was looking at the map, and just as I glanced up from the map, the next second we had been accident. Although there's obviously some bruising, I think Robin's alright. He's got a bit of a strap burn.
The Navy helicopter is back from Killin, where it refueled, ready to get the 2 men to hospital.
Yeah, where the helipad were earlier, we're now using the same place. We're now bringing the helicopter in, get the 2 walking wounded in, off straight away.
Both men are able to walk onto the helicopter, but driver Robin needs some assistance. 2 hours after they arrived on the scene, Dave, Dr. Neil and the crew are all aboard, en route to the nearest hospital.
Rescue 177 is on scene this time, with 2 casualties en route to Glasgow Southern General. Casualty 1, a suspect broken clavicle with minor abrasions. Casualty 2, also working wounded, just minor abrasions, both taken though due to mechanism of injury. Estimated time en route is 189, request ambulance on arrival.
Neil the doctor, who was with us up there, that turned out to be an extreme incident there for him. Straight from a high level of mountain training session, then into an extremely interesting job. We're all working extremely hard.
As night falls, Joe and Robin are handed over to paramedics, who will escort them to Glasgow's Southern General Hospital. A job well done, the crew head back to base. The countryside in winter can be a hazardous place. And staff at Dumfries and Galloway Royal Infirmary are there to help deal with winter medical consultant. In the run-up to Christmas, he sees a catalogue of winter-related injuries with all sorts of causes. His next patient, Agnes, has come in after a heavy fall. An X-ray has confirmed she's broken her wrist.
I was delivering a Christmas card and I fell down some steps. It's as simple as that.
David must make Agnes comfortable before he fixes the brake.
All we need to do is, as I say, put some local anaesthetic just into where it's broken. I'm going to give you a little bit of strong painkiller and also something to make you a little bit sleepy. So we're doing three things. The other thing is, it'll mean you won't remember it much. Okay? Right, this is just a very simple procedure to put a bit of local anaesthetic near to a broken bone. It just gives a little bit of numbness, a little bit of analgesia to the area. As well as that, she's going to have some painkillers and a little bit of sedation. How are you feeling?
All right.
Good. Quite a displaced Collins fracture, as we call it. So basically the wrist is bent backwards, and you'll see on the lady's got quite a deformed wrist.
Now Agnes has been given pain relief. She's also put on oxygen.
Okay, so I'm just nervous, feel really normal. You know, some colour in the cheeks. You know that.
Agnes's wrist is cleaned up. Then David gives her an injection of anaesthetic.
Ready now. We scratch coming. That's it. You squeeze. There we are. That's good. Should take about 5 or 10 minutes and it'll start to get numb. You're good. You're good. That's fine. You did well. Okay. Relax it. The worst thing to do is to rush it at this stage. You've got to wait for the local anaesthetic to kick in. And while we're doing that, we'll get the plaster prepared. You can. And get ready to go. And then after that, we'll give a bit of light sedation, and then it's a little bit of brute force to get this to sit in the right place.
10 minutes later, the wrist is numb from the injection.
And what we'll do is just give you a little bit of this stuff to make you a bit drowsy, a bit sleepy.
Agnes has had enough medication to make sure she feels no pain before her wrist is reset. David needs to dislodge the ends of the bones, which have been displaced in the fall. Although it requires a good deal of force and looks painful, Agnes doesn't feel a thing.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. What we've done is we've moved the bones into a better position, and we're going to put a plastic cast on and just mould it to keep the bones in the right place, just to give them a bit of support as they heal.
Once the plaster is on, they wake Agnes from the sedation.
Are you okay, Miss Agnes? I hope so. Right, that's it all finished, okay? We'll get you moving, alright? Good stuff.
Now David compares Agnes's before and after x-rays to check her wrist is set in the correct place.
There's a big bend in the wrist, what we call a dinner fork deformity. So the wrist was bent back on itself. She wouldn't have been able to grip very well. So if we sort of look at the post-reduction films, that shows the wrist is much straighter, much more in line, and again in a functional position. So if it heals in that position, we'll be more than happy with that.
After her ordeal, Agnes will be free to go home in the morning. It's been all go for the emergency services in Scotland's rural areas. After the head-on collision in the Highlands, the seriously injured casualty survived the crash and received specialist medical care. Robin in the other car is still suffering from some back pain. His passenger Joe has made a full recovery. Morris spent a while in hospital and vowed never to go up the ladder again. The drunk young lad apologised to staff for his behaviour. And on Black Eye Friday in Dumfries, police attended 40 different incidents, which led to 29 arrests. And you thought it was quiet in the countryside.
He's
Using every last peel of your butternut squash, Nigel Slater's dish of the day has fresh ideas at 7:30 tonight. Then it looks like fate just won't allow Dexter and Lola's planned holiday to go ahead in EastEnders at 8. And with only one spot up for grabs in the final 8, tensions are running high in the Celebrity MasterChef kitchen at 8:30.
The average person moves home 8 times during their life. So that's 8 times we have to move the sofa. 8 times we have to redecorate. 8 times we have to locate the stopcock. But there's one thing that's easy to do when you move. You can switch your TV licence online. Find out more at tvlicensing.co.uk/move.
Dip into the BBC Proms. Celebrate the Doctor's 50th anniversary with music and posters from the much-loved series. The Doctor Who Prom. Bank Holiday Monday at 4 on BBC One.
That is delicious. The Great British Bake Off continues. Tuesday at 8 on BBC Two.
Join Dr. George McGavin on a journey into the eye of the world's most spectacular swans. Ultimate Swans, Monday at 9 on BBC One and BBC One HD. Bargain hunt in half an hour and Tim stumbles across a last-minute find that stops him in his tracks. On BBC One now, here's Dom.
I've been battling for consumer rights for years, but it seems that some companies are still not getting the message.
The customers who are technically paying your wages and keeping your company afloat.
Day in, day out, thousands of you are being taken for a ride, and it's always the same old things. Shoddy products, the small print and bad customer service.
Customer service is really important, and actually if a company's good, I'll go back for it.
Too right, but some firms are driving you balmy, causing you sleepless nights and making you feel like you're the one to blame. But don't despair, because I'll take long to make sure you don't get done. Let's be honest, our energy bills aren't going through the roof, and most of us are doing what we can to keep them down. We're unplugging TVs, we're switching off the lights, or even turning the heating down. And doing all that should mean that we don't get any nasty shocks through the post. But as Tracy Dillon found out, that's not always the case. In March 2009, Atlantic Electric sent her an eye-watering £2,000 electricity bill, almost 10 times her previous one.
It felt like it was a bizarre bill, because it was totally out of proportion to what you would expect.
If I say that again, Tracy had only been in the property a couple of months. Her electricity needs were minimal.
My house is quite an old-fashioned farmhouse, which has 3 bedrooms, and I live in the farm on my own. The heating is from oil, and there are log burners and log fires everywhere, so all the heat and the hot water is done from solid fuels. There's no electricity involved in that at all.
Tracy was sure she couldn't have used that much power. So, what could explain the bill? Well, Tracy had an idea. A couple of months earlier, there had been a power surge so severe it had burned out the cables leading into her electricity meter. The meter didn't appear to have been damaged, but Tracy asked Atlantic Electric if the power surge could have affected the bill.
I explained that we'd had a power surge, and we'd had the engineers out, and that they knew all about that, and we were informed about it when it had happened. And they said, oh, that seems to make a lot of sense, we'll look into it and get back to you.
Atlantic did send someone out to visit the property, and they came up with a different explanation for Tracy's huge bill.
They've tried to compare my electricity usage currently with 2009, before there was the development at the farm. So now there's heated areas for the horses, but they didn't exist at that time, so I wasn't using that electricity.
Tracy's passion is horses, and she's even represented Great Britain as an event rider. But in 2011, she began suffering from the debilitating condition fibromyalgia and decided to concentrate on setting up her own equestrian training centre.
It is absolutely my dream setup and my dream home for the rest of my life, hopefully.
Over the last few years, Tracy has developed the farm with new stables and specialist equipment. But at the time of her disputed £2,000 bill with Atlantic Electric, the business wasn't up and running.
Yeah, all the development at the farm was only finished by the end of 2009, so there was no electricity being used for that until that time.
Tracy kept telling Atlantic that the bill was nothing to do with her business and kept telling them about the power surge. After 8 months, they eventually installed a checking device to test her meter and actually found it was running a little slowly. So, Atlantic maintained that the power surge wasn't to blame. But power surge or not, Tracy is adamant she didn't use the electricity, and around 3.5 years later, she and Atlantic Electric are still battling.
I don't see or understand how one person living in a 3-bedroomed house with solid pure heating could have racked up a £2,000 bill. I don't think that's possible.
I think it's time I stepped in to see if I can help Tracy in her dispute with Atlantic Electric. By the sounds of it, Atlantic Electricity have been giving poor old Tracy Dillon a bit of a rough ride. You see, they're claiming she's used an enormous amount of electricity, resulting in a whopping bill. And she's not having any of it. So I need to get to the bottom of what's happened. Tracy, lovely to meet you. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
What do you think caused this large bill?
I don't think it was any coincidence that when the large bill came through, that we'd had a power surge.
A power surge, something that was powerful enough to melt cables at a meter. Now, I'm not an electrician, but I do know enough about electric to know that that was one huge power surge, because those cables are as thick as your finger, practically, aren't they?
Yeah.
What happened?
There was a lot of smoke and damage, and there was so much electricity running through the house that an electrician who came and tested on the walls said that it was dangerous to be in the house, and we had to take myself and the dog outside.
So you think things would get sorted out quite quickly? There's been a power surge, wires have melted, sorted out, cancelled the bill, get back to normal.
That's what I thought would happen.
Initially, Tracy put paying her bills on hold while the disputed amount was being investigated. But as the bills kept mounting up and no resolution was in sight, she did pay £1,000 towards her outstanding normal bills. Right, now in the meantime, what's happening to this £2,000? It's still sitting there, owed as far as they're concerned, and not owed as far as you're concerned, but are they demanding that money?
Yeah, they kept demanding it. We actually had the debt collector around once.
That's not a nice experience, is it?
No. We had a nice cup of tea and I showed him all the information. He went away again because he realised there was a problem.
The problem remained unsolved, and in 2012, Atlantic Electric took Tracy to court, where they were granted a warrant to disconnect, but only after a thorough investigation.
So I actually contacted my MP, Kenneth Clark, who acted very quickly and spoke to the chief executive at Atlantic Electric, but he wasn't able to make any progress with them.
Even though her MP couldn't help her, good on you, Tracy, for pursuing every avenue open.
I did try quite hard to resolve it. I was setting up a new business, so I wanted everything to be in order and to function.
Has that had any effect on this electricity bill? And it's a double question here, because one, as far as you're concerned, and second, as far as Atlantic Electric are concerned.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there should have been no effect on the disputed bill, because the business hadn't been set up. The planning permission to start the building work and all the new development didn't come through until a month after the problem.
Can't be connected then, can they?
Connected.
Atlantic Electric know about this new farm, stables, everything else like that?
Yes, Atlantic have said that the reason my electricity bill jumped from £250 to £2,000 was because I developed a new business and I was heating all the stables for the horses.
But as we know, and as Tracy has told Atlantic Electric repeatedly, none of the buildings for Tracy's business were built at the time of the huge bill. Tracy's main frustration is that she doesn't think Atlantic Electric have properly investigated. She says she kept asking them if the power surge could be to blame, and although they discounted that theory after testing the meter, they couldn't offer an explanation she was happy with.
What would you like me to do?
If you can sort out the disputed amount, and then I can pay them what I owe.
Tracy currently owes £3,900, which is made up of £1,900 of accumulated outstanding bills, plus a disputed £2,000.
Okay. I'll get to work, see what I can sort out for you. Cheers, Tracy. Bye-bye. I can't help feeling a little bit sorry for Tracy. She's not too well at the moment, and she's had an ongoing battle with Atlantic Electric for nearly 4 years now, and she feels they're not listening to her. Well, let's see whether they're prepared to listen to me.
Now, as I'm always telling you, before I get stuck into this case, it's important to find out just who I'm up against. Atlantic Electric is part of the Scottish and Southern Electricity Group, otherwise known as the SSE Group, which is one of the largest energy suppliers in the UK, with over 10 million customers. And according to their website, the group has won an award for Best Customer Service 7 times in a row. Crikey, with customer service credentials like those, it's even more surprising that Tracy's dispute has gone on for so long.
Tell you what, Tracy's situation has got way out of control. She started off with a £2,000 bill that she didn't agree with, then she made payments, then she stopped making payments, and now £8,900 plus she's on the verge of being cut off. Nearly else was sorted out ASAP.
Right, let's see if their customer service gets a gold star from me. Not a good start, as I'm kept on hold. But finally, after 3 minutes...
Hi Reece, my name's Dominic Little, I'm calling from the BBC. Reece, just to sort of put you in the picture here, we're making a programme, it's about a lady who's got a bit of a dispute at the moment, and I need to speak to somebody about that.
After listening to the reason for my call, Reece directs me to a press office manager.
Superb, thanks for your help, Reece. No problem, bye. And a funny thing that's going to happen. I've been diverted onto a specialist department who can deal with me, but I've got the manager's name and her extension number.
And I get straight through.
Crikey, that's lucky for me. Hi, Sharon.
Sharon doesn't want her voice used, but after introductions, I explain Tracy's predicament.
To give you a very brief synopsis of the situation, in 2009,
I then tell Sharon about the first 2 perfectly normal electricity bills that Tracy had received from Atlantic Electric, which together came to a total of just over £300.
And then she received a bill for £2,001. Now, she had a power surge on her home prior to this. She's adamant that she thinks this huge bill that came through is as a result of that power surge.
Sharon says she feels that it's unlikely and that they need to do a thorough investigation. Crucially, she wants to make sure that nothing's happening on Tracy's case that they don't want to happen. Hopefully, that means they won't cut her off whilst we dispute this. It's a very promising start.
So much, Sharon, I wish everyone was like you, but mind you say that, I'll be out of the job next week.
She then reassures me that they'll get it sorted one way or another.
Thanks, Sharon. Bye. Now, I'll tell you what, the way that call went, you'd think, whoa, this problem's going to be over and done with within the night. That lady was perfect. I couldn't have asked for someone to be nicer and more professional, but somehow I've got a funny feeling it's not going to go as smoothly as that call did. Now, I've taken a look at Tracy's bill from Atlantic Electric, and they say she's used over 15,000 units of electricity in just over 3 months. Now, trust me, that is an awful lot of electricity by anyone's standards. In fact, I've done a bit of research. It's the equivalent to boiling enough water to make 850,000 cups of tea. Making 500,000 pieces of toast. Or having 130,000
17 light bulbs on 24 hours a day. Shocking. I've already spoken to the press office manager, who said that she'd get on the case and get it sorted. And that was 2 weeks ago, and I'm keen to know if there's been any progress. Time to call again and find out.
Hello, Sharon. It's Dominic from the BBC.
Sharon quickly brings me up to speed, saying that they've been right through it with Tracy, and brings up the fact that Tracy is running a business on her property. But, as Tracy has explained to Atlantic Electric time and time again,
The business wasn't once large bill coming in. They didn't even have planning permission to build the business because it was basically a question centre she got there. And the planning permission didn't even get granted until the 8th of April 2009. Now that large bill came in for the period December 08 to March 09. The business wasn't even up and running then.
Sharon's response to this information is to say only that the business was up and running subsequently. Sharon then tells me that Tracy has paid nothing to her account. And you say she's never made, other than that £1,000 she told us about, she's never made any other payments. She then says that she doesn't have the figures in front of her, but that she can get back to me and send me full details.
That would be brilliant, if you could.
Now Tracy has told me that she did make regular payments to her account, only until February 2012, when she stopped paying completely in the hope it would encourage Atlantic Electric to investigate her complaint thoroughly. However, stopping payments was a breach of contract that landed Tracy in court, and the judge gave Atlantic Electric a warrant to disconnect Tracy's electricity, although the judge did say that the company had to investigate before any action was taken.
Thank you, Sharon. Speak to you again soon. And you. Bye-bye.
We've got a real deadlock here. Tracy said she didn't use the electricity. Atlantic Electric says she did, and there's no way of proving it either way. Especially as Tracy's original meter has since been replaced and destroyed. But apart from the sheer volume of units that were used during that quarter, it's clear something unusual's happened, and unless Atlantic can explain what, I think they should give Tracy the benefit of the doubt. This whole story has got me thinking. You see, when it comes to utility bills, we believe what we're told. We trust our meters to get it right. So, what can you do when you think your utility company has made a mistake and got their wires crossed? Well, one man who can shed a bit of light on this is Jonathan Elliott, who works in the energy industry.
So if you think that something's wrong with your bill, if your bill's really high, probably before you call the supplier to challenge it, I'd advise you just to take a look at what you're using on your meter on a daily basis over a couple of days and just see if that sort of matches with the consumption that the supplier is saying you've used on your bill.
But if you feel the problem is with your meter, there is still something you can do.
Contact the supplier and they're obliged to send someone out who's independent from the National Measurement Office. And that independent electrical contractor can check the meter and assess whether it's correct.
But what if your dispute with your energy supplier remains unresolved?
There are organisations you can go to. There's Consumer Direct or the Energy Ombudsman, both of whom are online, and you can raise your complaint issue. They will pursue it with the supplier on your behalf.
The other thing we can all do to help ourselves when it comes to knowing our energy consumption is to install an energy monitor.
They're very easy to fit. They sit on your kitchen worktop and they'll tell you exactly how much energy you're using at any moment in time in your house.
Sounds good, but possibly the best news for us consumers is what the energy industry is cooking up for the future.
By 2020, every household and every business will have one. And smart meters will provide electronically meter readings to the relevant supplier. So that means no more estimated bills.
Now, considering that estimated bills are the source of most energy customers' complaints, the arrival of smart meters can only be a good thing. But remember this, if you've got a problem, don't bury your head in the sand. There's help out there, so find it and sort it. Back now to Tracy's case, and there's been a dramatic turn of events that has got me fuming. You won't believe it, but they've only gone and sent round a disconnection team. What I'm really shocked about here, Sharon, when I put my cards on the table, you and I are trying to sort things out, we're very amicable, you're getting me the information, although I've asked 3 times just for some of it hasn't arrived yet. You know, your guys turned up to cut her off, and then she said to me, I believe I owe this amount, and he's taken it, and she's bought a stay of execution. I can't believe you sent her round there while you and me in the middle of a discussion. Sharon agrees that we are in the middle of a discussion and just said that this wasn't the first time they had a warrant and they had put off using it. She then asks me to remember that this is a business contract between themselves and the business. Sharon, I think we've got to agree something though, haven't we? That this amount is not her business account. This is her personal account. The business hadn't even been built when the dispute was in effect. To be fair to Sharon, she's in the middle here and is relying on information she's been given, which she agrees to email over to me. But she has already sent me information about Tracy's payment history, which confirms that Tracy was paying up until February 2012. You said to me that since this account's been up and running, she's only paid you a one-off payment of £1,000. I looked into that. £5,732 she paid you, and that's before the £1,900 she gave you the other day. That goes into over £7,000 now. Sharon says that she's answering questions based on the information she's got at the time and states that this point is irrelevant. Sharon, if you know exactly what she's paid, how can you possibly say to me that when you said she's only paid £1,000 and she's actually paid nearly £6,000, how can that be irrelevant? Sharon then gives me her word that nothing else will happen with Tracy until she and I have resolved this, and her pledge to me is to sort it out. Thanks, Sharon. Bye-bye. Can't get anywhere now. I'm sitting in the car. I'm going to read her email. It's coming through tonight, and I'll be giving her a call back in the morning. I think it's high time Tracy had some support from a specialist. So I've arranged for Tracy to meet Dr. Robert Brown, a chartered electrical engineer who spends his life unravelling the secrets behind burnt-out wires. Does he think that power surge could have anything to do with a meltdown in Tracy's meter? What could have been done to get to the bottom of the problem, and could her energy use explain the excessive bill? He's had a look around the property to get a feel for the kind of system that's installed, and Tracy's keen to hear his thoughts.
What do you feel could have happened to make the bill run up to just over £2,000?
In my opinion, there was a fault on the system, and that fault was on the system for a long period of time. And in that time period, excessive electrical current has been drawn into your system. The current has caused heating of the wires around the electricity meter, which probably culminated in the burning out of the wires at the end of the quarter in March 2009.
And when you say that it's been going on for a long time, do you mean weeks or months or days?
It's difficult to say, but I would suggest, given the energy consumption of the quarter before and the quarter in question, that it could have been going on for probably a few weeks. It would have been a good indication to me that given the energy consumption in the quarter of the incident was 3, 4, 5 times more than the energy consumption after the incident, many of that only had additional electrical equipment installed. That would have been an indication to me that there was something seriously wrong.
So even with all the extra electricity consumption used by Tracy's new question centre, her bills are not as high as that one £2,000 shocker she received before the business had even been built.
Thank you very much, Robert. You're the first person who's really showed me any support or made me understand what's happened.
For Tracy, Robert has been the first person to acknowledge that a power surge could possibly explain the £2,000 bill. And even if it wasn't a power surge, he thinks Atlantic could have done more to investigate.
I thought Robert was excellent. He was much more positive in his views than I was expecting, and he gave me a lot of confidence that there was a real problem, so I'm